Welcome to episode 199, Broad Street Hustle. I'm back this week, your host, Tommy Nanny, bringing you a fun and exciting show that we have where we will cover the Phillies home opener in a 5-3 victory, and then we're going to cover the late pick four at Gulfstream Park, which does conclude with the Florida Derby. Let's go around the room. Who do we have tonight? We have, as always, co-host Jason Santa.
What's up, Tom?
Jason, what's going on? And we got Jimmy the Chalk, as always.
Happy opening day.
We were supposed to have Jimmy D, but had some technical difficulties as he was trying to sign on, and he will not be on, although we are waiting for, hopefully he sends us his Gulfstream pick so we could share by the time we get to it. Hopefully we'll have him. But let's jump right into it. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Jiv and Nina's Pizza. You tried the rest. Now go ahead and try the best. All right, let's jump right in. Phillies hang on to a 5-3 victory. It was kind of a perfect game there for a while until the ninth inning, where Backus got in some trouble. Duran came in and closed it out 5-3. I'm going to just start. Is this the year they go 162-0, Jason?
I think so. I think they're going to win every game.
I watched that Francesca clip this morning. I still piss myself every single time. I watched the one. It was like the back-to-back callers, and it was hilarious. I was dying. But yeah, Phillies win 5-3. Sanchez looks like he's ready. He comes in this season perfect already. 6 innings, 10 Ks, 3 hits. Never really in trouble. It didn't seem
first inning maybe, but
yeah. And that was he had 2 outs until he started letting up. And the singles were like up the middle. They weren't nothing even crazy. Schwarber led off with not let off, but he hit first inning home run. Bohm with a 3-run homer. Crawford with 2 hits in his ML debut. The elite Bryce Harper had we took the collar with a bunch of strikeouts. Maybe he needs to drink a little more apple juice. But other than that, it was a very good victory on opening day for the Phillies. And I did hear, and you guys correct me, did Tom McCarthy say that was the first Phillies this fave on opening day?
Yeah, at home. At home,
yeah. I couldn't believe that. I mean, I guess if you figure for opening day at home doesn't always happen, and then they had a win, but still, I was pretty shocked by that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was home opener or opening day that happens to be at home.
I thought it was opening day, but I'm not
okay. Yeah, it's possible for sure.
Yeah.
But yes. But I still found that pretty crazy. But Jason, what's your thoughts on the Phils?
Yeah, start with Sanchez. It's just amazing that this guy has become an elite pitcher. Like he's almost automatic. Like you're going to get a dominant outing from him. I'll be the first to say I didn't expect this from him. Even after, the first year, and I'm forgetting years where, we kind of showed like promise, and I still was like, I don't know. I wasn't a believer, but I'm a big time believer now in this.
Well, yeah, I read something too. It was like he was like a spot starter that he stepped in because somebody couldn't go. I forget.
He was a long reliever, and then he Bailey Falter.
We were trying to debate. We were debating whether he or Walker should start in the Arizona series for the championship series his first year up.
Right. So, and I'll say it again. I look like I'm kind of red boarding now, but like, how could you look at this pitching rotation and not think that they are a serious contender to win the World Series? It seems like Wheeler is back to almost being Wheeler. Now we'll see, but he seems to be back. And Luzardo, you guys know what I think of Luzardo, and even Nola for that matter. Looks really good. So now you're going into a playoff series facing that rotation. Good luck. I think they're. I expect big things from them this year. Now, Crawford, promising. Again, he's another guy I really didn't believe in, but, it's only one game, but had a couple of nice hits there, played decent defense. Bohm might have a big year this year with this being his contract year, and if he stays healthy, could be a big year for Bohm. Schwarber, of course. I mean, what could you say about the guy? I mean, you just expect 45 to 50 home runs from him. The ninth inning was badly mismanaged. I mean, I don't want to be, throw negativity into a win, but I don't care. It's opening day. You're off tomorrow. Why are you throwing a guy in who obviously, like, he's a lefty specialist? Righties
I
tee
didn't get
off
that
on him.
either.
Righties
I
tee
noticed
off on
it.
him. Put either Keller out. You don't want to use Duran, fine. Put Keller or Alvarado in to close out opening day, 5-0 win, and move on. Now you gave him kind of momentum going into the rest of the series. Like,
And then you had to scramble to get Duran up.
yeah,
You're like,
Durant's got to come in anyway. So, like,
it's a
instead of
disaster.
just closing out the game with Keller or even Banks for that matter. I mean, this Backus is a lefty specialist.
Yeah.
Right.
And if they might have even left him in if they turned that double play, because then they had a lefty up.
Doing on that.
Yeah, you take the lead runner, you tag the lead runner and get him off the base path. I don't know what that was about.
Exactly. And not only that, like, why is the ball not in your glove? Like, you're close enough to first base to have it in your glove and then get it out and throw it real fast.
Yeah,
Like,
it was not
what's he
a good play.
doing? So anyway, but hey, 1-0. You can't go 162-0 unless you win the first game. So
You tied him first. Chalky, what do you think?
I mean, Jason said a lot. Sanchez, clubhouse leader for the Cy Young after the first round, considering
not your guy.
Not my. Well, first of all, those should have been zero earned runs because of that outfield.
If I'm Skeens, I'm punching O'Neal Cruz in the face.
Yeah, they did.
That wasn't such a joke, but anyway.
Logan Webb got hit around
Webb got hit around last night. And there's somebody else. Yamamoto will go tonight, but there was another one of the opening day guys that got bumped around a little bit. Mizorowski. Peralta gave up 4 runs, I think, or whatever. So
yeah.
I mean, then the Texas guy is like a legit.
Evaldi, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
he gave up the 2 home runs, which were the killers, obviously. But you said Harper over 4, Garcia over 4 strikeouts. So you're gonna get that JT over 3, got hit at the end, 3 strikeouts. So
Marsh had 2 doubles.
Marsh had 2 doubles. But when you play like that, you're gonna need home runs, and they got home runs with guys on base. And not only is this a contract year for Bohm, he may need every single dollar. If you saw today that he is suing his parents because he says his parents stole all his money.
Yeah,
so this is going to be a big year for him in more ways than one.
Howard too.
No, it happened to Drew Brees.
Yeah, I think Howard had something too with this.
Ryan Howard.
Possible. I don't remember, but yeah. So. He's suing him in common pleas court in Philadelphia, apparently. But that if you bet Duran to break the Phillies save record, it's good that he got in. But
I bet him to lead the league in saves.
Lead the league, okay. Well, if he leads the league, he's got a good shot to break the Phillies single season record. I mean, look, I think this is what we're gonna. I mean, this is what you're gonna expect from the offense. If you get guys on base, you're going to hope somebody, they're not going to get single walk, sack, fly, this team for the most part. So you get guys on base, you want a home run. That's what they couldn't get in the playoffs, right? They left how many guys on base over the last couple years when they're not winning series. So this is the formula. Obviously, when your starter goes 6, almost easy innings, and he could have kept going, but there's no reason to push him past 87 pitches in this situation. So I was fine with him coming out. And then, you go to the bullpen, and this is the bullpen that's supposed to help you get home in a 3-2 game, let alone a 5-0 game. So, yeah, I mean, Bacchus was a little off. And then I thought I was not watching the game right. Because, Stott, how did he not tag him? That's got to be a mistake. It was like, he didn't tag him. And I'm like, why would you? The guy dropped to the ground. Like, stop. Tag him, and the guy gets on first. So you're just swapping the runner on first instead of putting somebody in scoring position.
Then the throw, it looked like Turner could have made a play on the throw, and he
it wasn't a great throw. Turner might have been able to knock it down to keep it from going to the outfield, but
it hit the runner. That's why.
Did it? Oh, I didn't see
that.
Yeah, it hit the runner.
Okay, yeah. I didn't have it on the big screen at that point, so I missed that. I looked like Harper just threw wide, trying not to hit him. But
Scott's fault. I don't know what
Yeah.
Scott's doing on that play.
yeah, I that all stems from him making a poor decision at the beginning. So, it was a beautiful day to be down there. The new Ghost Bar or whatever it is 1-0, and hopefully it's got Middleton some money to spend, as he said, later this year. So only 161 more to go.
Yeah, now they play Saturday 4 o'clock. I think is their next
Yeah.
game. They always get the day off
Yeah.
after opening day. So, look, it's going to be a long season. They're going to win a lot of games, like Jason said. When you have this pitching staff, your baseline, like the worst you could do is probably win 80 games. Like just with this staff, like your floor is so much higher because even if you're not hitting, your pitching is still going to carry in so many of these games.
And who knows how good Painter even is? I mean, I didn't even mention Painter. I mean, what if he's really good?
Yeah,
I
mean, and he doesn't even need to be like. I mean, he's your fifth starter. Like he could be halfway decent, and he might be the best fifth starter in baseball.
yeah,
Like, easily.
I think it's
So-
the best staff in baseball. I mean, one of you guys tell me who's got a better staff. Dodgers? I don't know about that.
The Rangers actually have a pretty good staff.
Rangers have a really good staff.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
go
now
to playoffs.
you got DeGrom. We face DeGrom Saturday, and then Sunday is
Gore.
Gore. Yeah, the
Gore,
kid who
yeah.
struggled
The
again.
thing with the
Yeah.
Dodgers is like I can't keep track of who's healthy and who's not. So
Yeah.
Snell was out a lot of last year, then he came back and looked good. Now he's not there
Not
again.
pitching until middle May.
Glass now has a glass
Glass
arm, so I don't know. Like when he's pitching, Sasaki is all over the place again. So
Yeah, it's
Ohtani,
gonna be-
I mean,
Yamamoto and Otani, I mean,
They save their arms for like that run. Which is what.
yeah.
yeah, Sheeran or whatever. Do you think
sorry, I'm
Sheeran's
pretty-
going to be?
I'm taking the Phillies pitching staff over the Dodgers.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it with the Phillies, and then we'll move on. It really is like, let's see what they do in the playoffs. Obviously, if they can hit in the playoffs, we talk. But you can't watch 160 games with that mentality. You have to watch the season to enjoy the season, to enjoy every game, to win games. But at the end of the day, it really does come down to what is these guys do in the playoffs. What does your 4 through 9 do in the playoffs? What does Harper do, etc. But I do think you're going to see a very exciting regular season, from the Phillies and fall right where they kind of fell last year. So
I think there's one obvious spot in the lineup that you could try to improve at the deadline. That's left field, maybe even right field, if Garcia,
yeah, he's a wild card. I mean, Garcia he definitely could improve, but he also could just be
that
might
be
hit you
a guy
30
need-
home runs, but he's going to bat 210. I mean,
Yeah, you might need to get a left-handed bat to go with him and start platooning and in right
and you
field.
didn't get to again, it's one game, but I mean, Marsh hit 300 after, what was that, 303 after April last year?
Yeah, I think you could live with Marv as a platoon guy.
But you don't know what Kemp's going to give you against lefties,
No.
which is scary. So we'll see
Right.
when that happens.
Right.
And then obviously have shows. But it's going to be a good year. I mean, it was a good first game. It's going to be a good year. Try to enjoy it more this year than just wait for the playoffs. Is my advice. But I would like to see. I mean, I was kind of messing. I'm a little ticked off with Harper right now, but he needs to really. I mean, like he needs to do something. I'm sorry, he can't. He wants to talk a big game. He's got to go.
I
out and do-
agree. I mean, he's
So
got a little bit of a big mouth. He's going to have to start producing.
yeah,
He's
exactly.
got to play like a $12 player.
Should have about 16.
16. See, I discounted him. He's not even playing like a $12 player right now.
Right.
And it's just if he he wants to run his mouth, he wants to play the Mets and wear their the rivalry pack. He wants to wear Fanatic cleats. He wants to do all this stuff. He's a baseball player that needs to produce while playing baseball.
I mean,
And
listen,
we've
he
said
hit
it with Harper.
270 with 27 home runs last year. That's not elite.
No. And we said it with Harper when he came here. He wears the Fanatic. Everybody loves all that crap until he's not playing well, and then you no longer, that stuff becomes annoying. And right now he's teetering on that's annoying until he starts to produce. So, um,
Yeah.
I still have faith and I root for him, but he does get on my nerves. I can't respect the guy that drinks apple juice after you win it, after you clinch a pennant either. It's a little
Better,
bit.
better than raw milk. But I
It's a
think
li-
I mean, the
world.
thing is with him at this point in his career, like if you don't get 140 plus games out of him, you're not going to get 30 home runs. So he looked like, he missed 30 games last year. He missed almost 40 games in 2023, came in at under 30 home runs both those years. So he's not going to put up the 42 a year.
Wasn't this over under?
That
I
was his
thought we were
career.
like 27.5 or 28.
Yeah, it was in the 20s. It was in the 20s. So
Yeah, I know. I thought
I mean,
that
if he's
was
healthy, he
but
should get to 30, but he wasn't, you forget. I mean, I certainly forgot. He broke 40 once and he only has 3 or 4 years in the 30s of his whole career.
Yeah. I want to see 35 home runs, and I want to see 100 RBIs and on base percentage in the high threes and
Yeah.
280. I mean, 270, 280.
yeah, I mean it comes down, and for even the home runs, like he can whatever. It comes down to, like you said, his on base. He needs to walk and get on base more, and his OPA, he needs to slug the ball more, which would go into his on base percentage. And it's like that's what he needs to do. And those numbers were down last year, and he's going to miss time because he always does. And he got older. He's not getting younger, but and when he's on the field, he's got to produce.
Yeah.
So not a great start for him, but it's one game for everybody. All right. Anything else, or we'll move on here?
Not
All
for
right.
me.
Let's move on. Anywhere from Jimmy D for his picks yet?
No, I haven't seen anything from Jimmy.
All right. So we'll kind of cruise along here as we move on to the late pick 4 at Gulfstream Park. Starts race 11, ends on race 14, and it ends with the Florida Derby, which is the last major prep on the Florida Trail. What else do you have after the Florida Derby? What's the last race?
Well, next week is the big prep. Next week's the
Yeah.
Bluegrass, Santa Anita Derby.
Bluegrass Woods, Santa Anita, and then you got the Arkansas also on Saturday.
Yeah, this week. So and then
Yeah,
that's
so
it,
after next week, it's it.
pretty much it.
So I guess next week
is
will be
the
another-
is the UAE Derby this week?
yeah, and then the Japan. Japan's got some kind of race that gets them a Derby horse.
And then
but-
the last ditch is the Lexington at Keeneland, but you don't always get the winner coming
Yeah,
into the
that
Derby because it's a 2-week turnaround. So
so next
But
week,
I sure wrote. I don't have the numbers, but I mean, you could probably do it in your head a little bit. Chuck might even know. The Florida Derby has produced a good amount of your Derby winners over the last 10,
it's
15 years.
it's very reasonable to think that this Derby might have the Kentucky Derby winner in it. It's possible.
yeah, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it's certainly.
But it was last year, right? There was Sovereignty was the
If you had-
Somni ran in the Derby, in the Florida Derby. Yes, Nyquist was a Florida Derby horse. Always Dreaming was a Florida
Always
Derby
Dreaming,
horse. Those Baffert had those West Coast runs, so none of those would have been there.
Yeah.
But
If there's
But,
some
I
kind of
mean-
bet out there to, which Derby, if give me Florida Derby and the Bluegrass versus the rest, I would bet the Derby winners coming out of the Florida Derby or the Bluegrass Stakes.
it's probably not the Wood. I think it's been like
Not the
40-something
Wood,
years
not gonna
since
be
the
Santa
Wood.
Anita
Been a
Derby.
long time.
Not going to be Santa Anita.
All right, so let's kick this off, which is race 11. Supposed to go off at 4:40 Eastern time. It's a 7 furlong. It's the Arming Mule, which is it is a stakes, not graded, but it is a stake race. They're going 7 furlongs on the dirt. Jason, kick us off.
Okay, so I'm going to be 3 deep in this race. My top choice is going to be the 3 Scotland for Mott. Seems like he's a good 7 furlong horse. He got some class in him. I think he should get enough pace because he seems to be wanting to come off the pace here to win this race. I'm also going to use the 4 Concrete Glory for Safi. I mean, if that's clearly a Gulfstream Park horse and a 7 furlong horse. He's 5 for 5 at the distance. So, fade Safi Joseph horses at Gulfstream at your own peril there. I'll also throw in the 2 Pentathlon for Shug at a price. I don't think he's a terrible horse. And I think Concrete Glory and Scotland, and maybe there's another horse I think's getting bet, which I didn't like. But Pentathlon should be a decent price, and he seems to like 7 furlongs also, and he doesn't have much class in him, but at a price, I'll throw him in. So I'm 3-4-2.
Chalky.
So I'm spreading this race a little bit. I'm actually going 5 deep. Top pick was between 2 horses. I landed on the 8, Jack's Promise. Marat for, I guess, future Kentucky Center, Dale Romans maybe. I don't know. But likes Gulfstream's 2 for 2 at the distance, ran big last couple races out. They were at 6 furlongs, but he's won at Gulfstream at 7. It was a main claim, but the other horse I had up for top pick was Pentathlon, so I like that horse as well. I also have the 3 Scotland, the 4 Concrete Glory, and the 5 Back 'em Up, all in the mix. I don't know if these 2 horses will go off 1-2. I am very much against the 9 and the 10, who are the 2 morning line favorites. I don't like either of them in this spot, so I probably put them in the winner's circle, but I think there's a lot of value getting past those 2 horses potentially in this race. So overall, it would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 for me.
Yeah, I'm too deep. I can stretch it to 4 deep on another ticket maybe, but my top 2 picks, and my top pick was actually the 4, was Concrete Glory. Now, I do think there's a good amount of pace, although these races that look like a lot of pace, sometimes the speed of the speed wins. What my biggest thing on if you look at Concrete Glory, and like Jay said, it's 10 for 17 at Gulfstream with the five other placings, so basically 15 out of 17 at Gulfstream, 5 for 5 at 7 furlongs. But look at the form line, and you can go back pretty good ways. I mean, I can go back to 2022. When the horse wins the next race. Won in December, January 22, back to back. Actually, went 3 in a row. Go back, then runs second, runs first, runs a clunker, runs first, runs second, runs first.
You must give him the vitamins to get him.
There's something,
formed
and
for
a
like-
lot of times he'll follow it up with a bad, like just gets a horrible race, and then comes back and goes win. Chalky alluded to that the 9 and the 10 are the more. I would be shocked if they go off even second choice, either one of them. I honestly think it's 3-4. We'll go off 1-2 here.
Yeah.
So that 8-1. Look, that 8-1 would be unbelievable. Don't see it. That's my top pick, and then Scotland's my second pick, who I will use 3-4 in my main pick for.
And I kept these without odds because Gulfstream Park, I guess somebody sleeps like until Thursday, and then they decide to post to finalize the PPs. I don't know what goes on at this race.
When you've drawn the race by Sunday, there's zero excuse for 4 days.
I think
to
they
not
sleep
have.
for 4 days after they draw the race, and then they wait off.
And it's not even like wait until it's 2:00, 3:00.
Yeah, it's late. It's late.
Yeah, I
know. So I capped these races without odds. So and I came up with 4-2. I didn't have those. I don't know what the odds maker saw in those horses that were the favorites.
Macho, I mean, I kept him without the odds. Macho Music didn't surprise me since he ran a couple big races this year. Owen Almighty has, I mean, he looked like he got fried in the Derby. So how he's sitting there at 7-2, I am not sure.
A horse that has a name.
I mean, yeah, you are trying to anticipate the betting pattern, not the likelihood of winning, but I just.
In the past, these morning lines at Gulfstream can be almost none. Don't even look. They're like almost non-usable.
Yeah.
Then I did say there was 2 other horses that maybe I would use in a backup, and that was the 5 and the 9. Although I don't love the 9, I do think of the 2 horses, the 9 has a little bit, definitely a much better chance than the 10, in my opinion. And the 5 was, again, you see a ton of speed for some reason. I think the jockeys see it and they start pulling, and one of those speed horses goes. I'm hoping it's the 4, but the 5 also has speed, so maybe back up a little bit with the 5. But 3-4 are my main plays. 4 was my top play. All right, moving on, and nothing from Jimmy D, right?
No, nothing from Jimmy.
All right, moving on to race 12, going off at 5:15. It is a mile and a 16th on the turf. It is the Sand Springs.
Yeah.
The Sand Springs, which is another non-graded minor stakes race here at Gulfstream on the turf. Chalky, kick it off.
So this is another race I'm spreading in, so I'll be going lighter a little later. I am 6 deep here. My top pick is going to be the one Maggie Go for Chad Brown, Flavian Pratt. Now, Brown gets this horse coming over from Europe, runs second in a grade 3, runs up the track in a grade 2, throws it on the dirt, trying to figure out, gets another layout, brings it down the Gulfstream, wins on the turf at a mile and a 16th in an optional claim. Now he's moving up to a listed stake. It's not a graded stake, but it could be a case of this horse getting back into form with Brown having the horse for a little bit. And there's no real world beaters in this race. So at 6-1, I made that my top pick. Again, I think that's a morning line that probably does not hold up considering the connections. But also the other logicals, Sweet Rebecca, the 3, the 2 Safi Joseph horses, which is Hang the Moon 4, Silver Moonlight 6. As a longer shot, Yes It's Tiz, which is Cox and Alvarado, the 7. And then the 10, Candy Quest, Cassie, who is the second. So a lot of logicals, lower prices on the morning lines that could change, but I couldn't put one horse too far ahead of any others here. So like I said, I'm 6 deep, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10.
Yeah, I am. Let's see, 5 deep here because this is my spread. Because I am lighter the last 2. For argument's sake, I will throw 1 as my top pick as well. I mean, just the connections of Brown and Pratt. Do like the horse's tactical speed on the rail. I think Pratt's going to have, because there's not a ton of speed, but there is some. So you don't want a pure closer. And you look at the the one Mag can definitely sit just kind of right off mid pack, make a run, hold off the closers, and it's Pratt. So that was my top pick. Then I'll go through the logicals. The 3 obviously can't not use. The 6, who just absolutely loves Gulfstream, ran here last time we did a show where Lush Lips won, did run 3rd. The 10, which is, I kind of use that horse on connections at Gulfstream. So Cassie and Cassiano, I've seen them win tons of turf races at Gulfstream in stakes races. I'm trying to think of that one horse. I can't think of the name, but seen that connection. And I actually threw the 7 in as well. The Cox horse. I was just a little bit intrigued. The horse going back, started career on turf, jumped to the dirt, which was pretty successful on the dirt in graded races. So went first race on the dirt, wins, then runs a grade 3, runs 4th, runs a grade 3, runs 3rd, and then Cox puts back. The horse is in good form, puts him back on the turf. If he can improve off the original turf races, I guess her. Turf races mimic the dirt form, I think puts the horse right there at 12-1, and could even see the odds slip a little bit as Chalky said, when the 1 definitely will get bet down. So I'm 1, 3, 6, 7, and 10. Jason,
I'm gonna go 4 deep here. And two of my plays are just strictly on class. My top pick is going to be the 10 Candy Quest for Cassie. I think she's going to get enough pace. And she's going to be closing pretty hard down the stretch. I think she'll have enough pace to get this. She's coming out of some grade 3s. She ran a grade 1. Might be the classiest horse in the field. So I'm definitely using her, and she'll be my top pick. But have to use my second choice is going to be the 1 for Brown, the Maggie Go. She may wind up being the favorite. I don't know where these odds are coming from, but I'm certainly not letting Pratt and Brown beat me in this race. I'm also going to use the 4, Hang the Moon, for Safi. She's running some classy races also, so she's my other class play. And then I have to use that 3 as well. I like Walsh. I actually think he's a really good trainer. So I'm not going to let Walsh beat me in this race. So I'm 4 deep, 10-1, 4-3.
moving on, race 13, going off at 5:56 Eastern Standard Time. 1.5 miles on the turf is the Pan American, our first graded race that we're covering here. And I'll kick us off. For me, it is a single. I think Farbridge, who's the 8-5 morning line, comes back this year and wins. Again, got January first race of career, January 23, win. All right, run. September 23, then has a break, kicks off the 2024 season, win. Kicks off the 2025 season, win. Now we're kicking off the 2020. Horse can run off a layoff, 4 for 4 at Gulfstream, 3 for 6 at the distance. Has the best turf jock in Pratt. Which these 1.5-mile races, these distance races tend to be jockey races. About putting horses in the right position, making the right moves. Horse is tactical, can show speed, can run off the speed. So I think it's Pratt's choice based on the break and what's in front of him. And I think Farbridge at 8-5 probably even goes closer to even money maybe and wins the race. So it is a single for me. Jason?
Yeah, very easy. Farbridge is my single. Off the long layoff, because it is a longer layoff than he came off of last year, but he won this race off a layoff last year. But I don't think it matters. I just think he's the classiest horse in this field by far. And I can't see betting anyone else in this race. That's my single.
All right, Chalky, anything different there?
I'm singled as well, but this is a shot because I'm single on the 1, Corruption, to go wire to wire with Cassie and Johnny B. Almost went wire to wire last year. Should be the clear pace in this. Farbridge ran him down last year in the stretch. Farbridge regressed a little at the end of last year, as did Corruption. But if I'm still alive, I'll lose here. But I'm just taking a stand, and I'm thinking pace-wise, it might set up for Corruption. So I'm going to single Corruption as being good enough to get it done this time around.
All right. When moving on here to the Florida Derby, race 14, going off at 6:42. It's the Grade 1 Florida Derby. Will be 1.125 miles. You have the horses couple coming back from the Fountain of Youth. You have the winner from the Fountain of Youth coming back. You do have Irad he is running in the Arkansas. So he is not running on Commandment. He's running on Renegade in the Arkansas Derby. But you got Pratt to replace him. So not too shabby. Jason, what do you think?
So I'm going to go 3 deep here. Just so you guys know and don't include in your handicap, and the 5 is going to run in the Arkansas Derby and not in this race. Because he would add pace to this race, but he's coming out Redland Rebels. So I'm 3 deep here. I'm on nearly the 6 for Pletcher and Johnny V as my top choice here. I think the race is going to set up perfectly for him. He should kind of sit right off of the 9 Gregarious and 1 Albus. Really needs this race. If you look at his points, I think he only has either 20 or 25 points. So he's got to win this race. Or if not win, he's got to finish second. So I think I'm kind of mad I didn't bet this horse in my Derby futures because he's got really good numbers. If you look at him, I think I saw his Thorograph. I didn't see it for this race, but I thought I saw it before somewhere, and he's got nice numbers. So I like him to win. Also, the 2 Chief Wallaby. He's another horse that needs this race. So whereas the 4 doesn't. Commandment, and he could just kind of run the race that Sovereignty ran last year here because he's got his points to get in, and maybe he's not fully cranked, and they just want him to run as a solid, maybe second, even third in this race. Chief Wallaby needs to win. I mean, he definitely only has 20 points, so he's got to, they got to empty him out to get this win, and I think he's good enough to get it. So I'm definitely going to use the 2 Chief Wallaby. I'm keying the 4 Commandment second because I kind of think, like I said, they want him to run well, but they're not going to empty him out. But he's so good. Like, I really like this horse. I think for me, he's one of the top 3 horses, Derby prospects in for 3-year-olds. So I like this horse. He could just be good enough that even though he's not cranked, he's going to win this race. So I'm going to throw him in, but I'm also going to do bets where I'm just keying him second. So 6, 2, 4 are my horses in this race.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost identical to what Jason said here. Except I would flip flop the 2 and the 2 and the what number 6. I would flip flop the 2 and the 6, where I'll use Chief Wallaby as my top pick, and I would use Nearly as my second choice. Chief Wallaby, I mean, one thing I remember you guys were saying, the horse was not. I think
They
you
didn't
guys,
want to put him in that race.
yeah, I thought you guys said that Mott said he wasn't going to be cracked, and it was better. He was running, yeah, like all, and the horse still ran second.
Yeah.
You watched the replay. The horse ran second, kind of running wide. Definitely made a wide move where Commandment just kind of got a big hole. But Commandment also did it easily, like Jason said. It's not like it was just trip dependent. But did hold off Wallaby, who did finish second, but was not really threatening Commandment either to pass. If anything, Commandment was going to gain a little bit of ground. But again, they got the trip that Wallaby did not. But third race, I mean, has very Sovereignty vibes to me. Similar looking horse. The way the run style is now, Sovereignty, like Jason said, didn't need this race. So this horse is probably like maybe one race behind Sovereignty going into here, but same connection. So I would make that my top pick. Nearly my second choice. And Commandment, it's the same exact thought. I don't, gun to my head, I don't think the horse is going to win, but the horse is way good enough, even if it doesn't run 100%. I'm not that deep in, in the leg before. Like, it's a very affordable ticket. You're not going to get live and not have this horse, who might go off as the favorite over Wildly. I don't even know. Not the morning line, but you don't know day of. Not going to get caught with my pants down and not have the horse on my ticket. So I am, what's that, 2, 4, 6, but 2 was my top pick. Chalky?
2 is my top pick, and 4 is my second choice. Nearly, I wasn't going 3 deep here. I'm going for the 2 out of the Fountain of Youth. And what Jason said, Nearly is 24th on the list now at 20 points, so he would be out. A third place might be enough to get him in there. And Wallaby is 20th with 25. So both of them, a second place finish definitely almost gets them in, but they can't really do worse than third if they want to get into the Derby field, minus anybody had them, skipping or scratching them out.
No, but what that does is it does force the connections to, yeah, we probably can get in with set, but we have to go into the race trying to win it. And if
absolutely. No, I wasn't. Just
no. I'm saying
from
Commandment is literally like, look, if we want to run him wide to see how he responds.
I mean, I'm putting him second. I don't think he might be cranked, but he might just be good enough to win without being fully cranked, like Jason said. And I thought in that second race, even if Wallaby wasn't cranked, or if he was, he still almost, he ran a very good race for a second time out, first time going 2 turns, in his second race of the career in his 3-year-old year. So
I would bet you Wallaby got the better thoroughgraph if I had to guess.
I heard that.
It did, yeah. I would guess just based on
wouldn't surprise me.
Different.
I mean, all these horses, Nearly included, will be just off the pace most likely. So a high pace or just a moderate pace isn't going to hurt them. But I was impressed by that Family Youth, so I'm just going to let those out of there. So the 2 and the 4.
All right, then let's go through our tickets, Jason.
So I'm going to give you $1 play. It's going to cost $36. First leg is going to be 2, 3, 4 in race 11. Race 12, I'm going to be 1, 3, 4, 10. I think it's the 3. I can't even remember. Yeah, it's 1, 3, 4, 10. Race 13 is my single, the 7. And then race 14 is 2, 4, 6. So for $1, it's $36.
All right, and I might think it's pretty similar, although for $1 it's only 30, and I'll just do the one ticket here. 3, 4 on the first leg, 1, 3, 6, 7, 10. Second leg, single to the 7. Third, and finish 2, 4, 6. So for $1, that costs $30. Chalky?
First leg, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Second leg, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. Third leg, single to 1. last leg 2-4. That's a $30 ticket for 50 cents.
All right, all affordable tickets, all nothing crazy out of left field here. Races look pretty straightforward, so I wouldn't be surprised if you kind of get pretty chalky as maybe a middle level price in one of the races. And the payouts is average, whatever, we'll see. But best of luck if you play along. Anything else? I think we never got Jimmy D's picks. I think
No.
that's all we got.
But I think next week it will be another, Kentucky Derby prep show, right? With all the
Yeah, I would think. I mean,
First prep.
and it's our 200th episode.
and it's our 200th episode, and then the week after should be the Masters.
Yes.
Then April 9th. Yeah, is that the Masters? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll have a couple series down for the Phillies by next week, so we'll definitely chat about that. Like you said, we'll have the preps that we'll go through, and then we start some of our golf season, and then the Derby.
Roll right into the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, Sixers, Paul George coming back, looking pretty good, and maybe this is the year. Maybe they come back and shock everybody.
Yeah, right.
Flyers, I think we're winning. Last I saw, maybe they sneak in as well.
I don't even know if they're still a franchise. Are they still play hockey in Philadelphia?
They do. They
they're
do.
up
5-1 at the end of the second period
There
right
you
now.
go. So they're only going to be what?
So
3
they're
points
they're
behind.
right on track to just miss the playoffs and get the 15th pick again, and then continue for the next 50 years. And
I did see Matone did have a big goal in the Frozen Four.
Well, that kid's good.
Did
I will say that he's a nice prospect.
Yeah, he
but,
does look pretty good.
but they don't have any centers, and they don't have a number one defenseman, and they will not win anything without either. So
And they could probably use a better goalie too.
yeah.
Eventually. All right, episode 199, Broad Street Hustle. We'll catch you next week for episode 200. Have a great night.